All right, let's get right into it. What if I told you there's a system that lets you triple your income but actually work less? It's all about going from a maxed out solo hustler to the leader of a small, powerful team. We're going to break down exactly how to do it.
So let me introduce you to Sarah. She's a content creator and honestly, she was crushing it, pulling in a really solid 7,800 bucks a month with her side hustle. But and maybe you can relate to this, she'd hit a wall. She was completely stuck trading her time for money, working about 12 hours a week, and just couldn't take on another client. And then, just 2 months later, this was her new reality. Her monthly income jumped to over $18,000. I mean, that's more than double her net income. Which of course brings up the big question. How in the world did she more than double her income while actually cutting back on her work hours? Well, the answer is the secret we're unpacking today. She stopped doing everything herself. She started hiring, using a really smart AI-powered system. This really gets to the heart of a huge problem that so many of us face. We call it the solo operator trap. It's that invisible ceiling you hit when your entire success, your entire income, is tied directly to the hours you can physically put in. And just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got the solo operator just stuck on that hamster wheel, trading every single hour for a fixed amount of cash. But on the right, well, that's where you've created leverage. Your income potential just skyrockets, your work hours plummet, and the value of your time, it explodes. You're not the worker anymore, you're the strategist. So, how do you actually get off that hamster wheel? Well, you escape the trap with a huge mindset shift. You stop seeing hiring as an expense, and you start seeing it for what it truly is, a high return investment. This is what we call the 300% ROI escape. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Look at the data. Nearly 3/4, that's almost 3 out of every 4 side hustlers earning over 5 grand a month, are already doing this. And why? Because they figured out that outsourcing isn't just some nice to have, it's the key that separates the busy from the wealthy. This is where it gets really wild. The financial leverage is just staggering. We're talking about a 300 to 500% return on your investment for your very first hire. So let me say that again. You are not spending money, you are investing it to make way more money back. And you know what? The results are fast. This isn't some 10-year plan. Most people who do this, who build a small team, they report their income doubling, sometimes even tripling, all within the first 6 months. It's a real achievable goal in the very near future. Let's just let that sink in for a second. For every single dollar you invest in hiring someone to take tasks off your plate, you get 3, 4, sometimes even $5 back. It is, without a doubt, the most powerful lever you can pull to grow your business, period. Okay, so the why is pretty clear, right? But what about the how? Let's get into the practical stuff. This is your actionable blueprint, a simple 4-step playbook supercharged with AI to build your team the smart way. We're just going to break it down step by step. First, you use AI to figure out the best tasks to delegate. Second, you use AI to write an amazing job post that attracts A players. Third, and this is my favorite, you use AI to screen applicants. I mean, imagine summarizing 50 applications in 5 minutes. Finally, you onboard them with a paid trial. It's simple, it's systematic, and it works. Now that first step is built on this core idea, high ROI outsourcing. You don't just delegate things randomly. You start by offloading all the repetitive, time-consuming stuff, the tasks that aren't your unique skill. This frees you up to focus on what only you can do, the high-value strategic work that actually moves the needle. So, you figured out what to delegate. Awesome. Now, where do you actually find these incredible people? Let's dive into the best places to look right now. This chart lays it all out perfectly. Think of Upwork as your best all-arounder for professional roles. Fiverr Pro? That's fantastic for fast, project-based hires, like getting a logo designed tomorrow. OnlineJobs.ph is an absolute goldmine for finding amazing, dedicated virtual assistants at a great price. And don't sleep on Reddit. It can be surprisingly good for finding really passionate, niche talent. The trick is knowing which tool is right for the job. All right, once you pick your platform, you have to remember, your job post is your sales pitch. You need a title that grabs attention. Be totally upfront about the pay. The best people won't even apply to vague posts. And here's the game changer. Use a tool like ChatGPT to optimize your post. You can literally tell it, hey, act like a world-class recruiter and rewrite this to attract amazing remote talent. and it'll sprinkle in all the right keywords. You did it. You found your person. So now what? That first month is absolutely critical. So let's walk through a clear week-by-week plan to take you from a brand new hire to a fully integrated income scaling team member. And this is exactly what it looks like. Week 1 is all about casting the net, posting the job, and screening people. Week 2 is when you do your interviews and make that offer. Week 3 is huge. You onboard them and you start a paid trial period. And by week 4, they should be handling real tasks, with your guidance, of course. This structure just takes all the guesswork out of it. Let's bring this full circle, back to Sarah's story. This chart says it all. She was here at 7,800. She invested 2,000 in her team, which seems like a cost, right? But that cost is what unlocked the door to this 18,500. It's the perfect example of how a smart investment leads to an absolutely massive return. So let's be crystal clear about the goal here. This has nothing to do with hustle culture or grinding away for 80 hours a week. The entire point of this is to build leverage into your life. It's about fundamentally changing the equation so you earn more by working smarter, not harder. So what do you do with all that time you get back? Well, this is what your new work life can look like. Most of your time shifts to high-level strategy and growth. You get to focus on your best clients. You have time to improve your systems. And yeah, you actually get some personal time back. You finally get to work on your business instead of just in it. And that brings us to the final and most important question. I want you to really think about this for a second. Forget about hiring a whole team right now. Just think about one thing. What is the single, most time-consuming, low-value task on your plate right now? What is that one thing that if it just vanished from your to-do list by Friday would change the entire game for you? Start there.